lesson we'll be learning how to render our drone. So once you have your drone assembled, we can then start to render our drone by clicking on changing the workspace to the render workspace. You can see it's already produced a more realistic version of our drone. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on appearance, and we're going to change the appearance of our chassis. So the appearance brings up a library of different materials to choose from. I'm going to choose a plastic, and I'm going to go textured, and I'm going to select plastic texture random. I'm going to just drag that on to my chassis. You can choose any material you like. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the in list design and right click on the plastic texture random there and edit it. And I'm just going to take the scale down a little bit to about 44 just to give a more realistic texture there. I can also change the colour of the material as well by using this slider and selecting sort of the material, the colour I want. I'm going to select sort of a light bluish there. And once you're happy with your appearance, I'm going to move on to the scene settings as well. So in the scene settings we can change lots of different things. We can change the brightness of our setting. We can also change the colour of our background as well. So I can change it to a red using the slider tool again, or a white. Or additionally I can also change the background to an environment using the environment library, and I can drag a environment onto the background here. I'm going to choose the plaza. I can then use the view cube here just to get a good view of my drone. I'm going to have one sort of hovering above this building here. And once you're sort of happy with the view, you can then go to in-canvas render here, and that will give us an idea of how the drone will render. It's always best to do an in-canvas render before sending it off to the cloud to render, because the cloud takes a little bit longer to render, whereas this is in real time. And once you're happy with your view, we can then go to the render button here, the little teapot, and we can choose to render in the cloud or local. I'm going to render in the cloud, and I'm going to change the print there to 8.4 megapixels there to get a more realistic high quality render. That's going to take up to about 10 minutes there. Click render, and that's going to send the render off to the clouds to be rendered, so it just stops your computer from straining. If I go down to my render gallery at the bottom here, I can see that this little clock sort of timer here that's going to appear as a render a little bit of time. It just means that it is rendering in the cloud at the moment. See, your job is currently in the rendering queue. And if you look here as well, here is one that I rendered earlier, and this has been rendered in the cloud and produced a nice realistic finish. And we can then download the image as a JPEG or a PNG and save that to our documents as well. We can also render our motion study by clicking this little play button here, and what that will do is it will render the animation that we made earlier. I have to change some of the image size to a smaller image size to render, and you can send that off to the renderer as well, and that will come back as a video. And there we have a fully rendered drone.